Today really felt like a long day. But I didn't do a lot. I went to church. After that, the men there from the men's ministry, because we have, you know, some guys, we all came together and went out to eat some lunch. Went to this decent little spot, nothing crazy, just a regular little spot. It's called First Watch. You probably seen it
Oh
around
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
for
like
sure. For sure. I love their bruh. It's interesting that the men's ministry will go to First Watch, because I
that.
always
Okay.
say
Mhm.
the waffle at First Watch is the waffle that God would eat if God ate waffles. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That waffle is
Okay.
like eating a cloud. That
It,
joint
it,
is
it is
so good.
it is really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Darwin.
What are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
Welcome back, challengers. This is season 1, episode 3 of
Yo
Challenge Day.
yo.
Today is January 29th. I'm that dude,
Yes.
Darwin.
And I am Jeff. That's Jeff, not Jeffrey. Check me out. Real quick, y'all. We got our socials up, so definitely check us out at Another Challenge Day. Again, that's at Another Challenge Day. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube, obviously, where
That's
you'll
the
find
main one
our,
right
our
there.
full show. That's the main one. Yeah, that's where you'll find our full shows. So again, that's at Another Challenge Day. So check us out. So aside from that, what you got going on today, bro? What we got going on?
Today is in preparing for it, I don't know how this happened, but there's a theme. It's going to be a
Okay.
theme show. I don't didn't necessarily do this on purpose, and I don't want people to start getting used to being like this in terms of being a theme.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you what the theme is in a little while. But first of all, we're gonna be talking about the mass shooting that's been going on. There's like it's over 30 mass shootings. It's only January. Second, we got there's this little boy, 6-year-old boy, shot his teacher, killed him. Right. So we're gonna touch on that a little bit. And this one is a huge topic. This last one,
Mhm.
Tyre Nichols got beat to death by some
Got the
cops, and
man.
there's so many
The
different
soul beat out
angles
of
to
him. It's
come at
crazy.
this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there's no way we're going to be able to cover all of it, all of that, but we'll put in
Absolutely
our
not.
2 cents. But before we get into all that, of course, you're here for Challenge Day, so no Challenge Day would be complete without our own personal challenges. So, Jeff, floor is yours.
To be honest, man, I mean I had a pretty straightforward week. I can't necessarily think of like a challenge that really stood out significantly aside from like the regular stresses that you experience throughout the week as far as work and all that. Um I think for me, I guess something that I could think of that's like kind of small, at least from in my world, is just going to the gym, right? Like I've been kind of slacking for the past couple weeks, and not going as often as I usually do.
Well, you've been studying and
And
all that stuff.
yeah, and that was a large part of it. It's definitely because I've been studying. So it kind of like when something takes a lot of your time, it kind of takes your focus away from like other things you probably do because it's so concentrated on you're so concentrated on this one task that you need to fulfill and overcome. So it kind of like threw my whole pattern off as far as my just working out. But last week I was able to get back into like a groove, and man, I ain't gonna lie, I was in there sweating, feeling crazy because like when you take a little bit of a hiatus and you come back, and weights feel a lot heavier
Mm-hmm.
than they used to. So I was in there like, man, I was in there
So do you
struggling
have
just to do. Go ahead.
did you have a bunch of people in the gym too at your gym? Because like it's
Nah,
January.
bro. So this is the interesting thing. Like I expected that, but weirdly enough, it wasn't like OD, right? Like it wasn't like so many people in there because of obviously these news resolutions that people be
Yep.
be faking on. It wasn't as much as I expected it to be, which was interesting to me because I was like, usually it's pretty packed out, but kind of seems like people are already kind of getting a little
It's funny. I
lazy.
wonder somebody. I wonder if you were struggling with it, and somebody was looking at you like, "Yeah, look at this. New Year's resolution guy.
Yeah,
because he was over there
yeah.
struggling. But only because he took a couple weeks off though.
Right, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but
But
to
you know
them, he
what's
just looked like
interesting
a
though,
phony,
like
like a poser.
it's a fact. But you know what's so funny about that is like since I'm like a regular at the gym, people already know me. So they know like I really be putting in the work throughout the throughout the year. So like, but if it's a new person that just probably got to the gym or something like that, they probably don't feel as bad because they're like, man, I just got to the gym. He just got there too. Look at him.
Yeah. You
Not
motivating
knowing
them
that
in
I'm
a
actually
different way.
right. Exactly. So you're right. That could it's absolutely be running through somebody's mind. So it's always funny when you get back into that groove working out. It's just it feels like the hardest thing. But then when you start to like kind of continue on and get back into that routine, everything like gets back to normal again. It's like it's easy to put on calories, but it's like it takes 3 times the effort to get them off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember
yeah.
yo, bro, like a donut. A donut is it like 800 calories? Is that just me? Let me look at this up. Like calories.
That joint, that's like a death ball.
Bro, it
Like
takes
donuts.
okay. All right, so check it out. So a
Yo.
medium-sized donut.
Mhm.
Okay, 800. I was off. My bad. That must have been some wild Krispy Kreme joint. But this one is about 200 to 300 calories per donut, right?
Just a donut.
It's
man.
a donut. But now, let me see how long it takes to burn 200 calories. How long does it take?
Mhm.
All right,
It's probably
yo,
it got to be
30
something egregious.
minutes. You need 30 minutes. You know
You
how
need
fast I can eat a donut? You know how fast I can eat a donut? And I need 30
Yo,
minutes
I need 30 minutes to burn it off. That's
to
crazy.
burn that joint off.
Yep.
Yo,
Mhm.
and then imagine like you gotta eat more than one, right? You
Right,
got the
right, exactly.
sprinkles and the thing. So like, yo, you gotta need an hour workout for these 2 freaking donuts.
Yep.
Yo, speaking of which, you know, I've always been a proponent of like you know, low carbs, high protein, vegetable kind of thing, even though I don't always live up to it, but it's like I've been preaching that freaking gospel for a while myself and working out. And I think the science is pretty much settled on all that stuff. And I mean, I've seen a lot of reports lately that was like saying, okay, matter of fact, I think they debunked it before, but there is a resurgence of information that's coming out now where it's like, bro, it's not about the carbs, it's not about the fasting and this other thing. It's not about getting your body a jolt because of you know, working out at 5 o'clock and all. So it's like, it's very simple. All it is, no matter how you do it, you can make up all these other little tricks and stuff to get you to like come to go along with the plan.
Yeah.
But all it is calorie in and calorie out.
That's it. It's caloric deficit.
It's a caloric deficit. That's the only thing that's gonna get your weight down. Like you can fast, you can not fast, you can have this chocolate, you can have this other thing, like, and that's great. If that helps you, if you drink a shake, you know what I mean, and then it helps you not to eat, you know, for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And you used to consume 2,000 calories a day or something, and now you're consuming 1,500 on a regular basis or 1,100 on a regular basis, then you'll start losing weight.
Absolutely.
That's just it. It's just calorie. So it could be a bunch of carbs. It could be, you might be unhealthy in other ways because you like vitamin C or vitamin B and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of like losing weight, bro, just calorie deficit. That's all it comes down to.
And that's really all it is. Like I've come to realize that like maybe like I think I got that revelation maybe like a year and a half ago. Because I was so used to just like all the other little tidbits that people would add, right? And that's the genius behind these fitness gurus and like these people on YouTube that's like, hey, I can show you how to get abs. I can show you how to... That's the genius around it because they know that all you really need, bro, is a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
And now if you want to pursue different things, like if you want to like run a marathon, do all these different things, you have to do conditioning and all that. But like just a normal human being who wants to lose weight and be more lean, and it's just caloric deficit protein. That's it. That's it. So like most people, the majority of people don't even get the amount of protein that they actually need throughout the day anyways. Right?
We're getting a ton of sugar.
Absolutely.
We're getting a ton of salt. We're getting a ton of carbs and glucose. And all that stuff. Well, it just ends up being sugar from the carbs. But yeah. So
yeah, it's really simple. It really is. Like, and then when I discovered how simple it was, I realized that, dang, bro, like I was really out here
like
doing the most. Doing the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the
Okay,
most.
so
So
you
yeah.
back in the gym. That was your challenge.
Yes, I'm back
So-
in the gym. Yeah, and I
Okay.
kind of got back in the groove again, and my body feels better. I feel better. And I feel like I move a little bit better, like when I'm running around playing basketball. The last time I played basketball, I felt really stiff because it was a while since I played ball too. So like, but once I started working out and getting like warm, and my body started kind of getting back into it, yeah, I just felt stronger, just felt better.
But it be that
so
way
it was-
sometimes when it comes to like
Yeah.
working out and stuff. It's just like, you know, you can go hard or you can go like steady, you know, chugging along for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like you're doing just going to the gym, your normal routine and all kinds of stuff. Then like, you know, matter of fact, like every year sometimes it's like, you know, I just like you just take a 2-3 week break from the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and just like you just like, you know, I need to take some time off from the gym. And that's fine. Interestingly enough, my challenge this week was kind of similar in terms of an athletic thing. I went snowboarding for the first time in like since like 2018.
Snowboard's legit. I ain't gonna lie.
Since like
Being
2018,
on
I
that
ain't
snow.
been in a minute, right? And last time that was in Japan.
Yeah.
And the thing that sucked about it, that time too was like I went. It was like 3. Did we go for 3 days? I think no, it might have been like 2 days that we went. 2 days in a row. We went up there, and like the first day, bro, I was eating snow, son. I was just like hurting, right?
Yep.
Matter of fact, I had gone snowboarding way before then too, but it's just like it's so long in between, right? Because I mean, total probably have gone like maybe 5 times my entire life, right?
Yeah, I went a couple
but
times,
those
yeah.
5 times is like it's like, you know, separated, right?
Yeah, really far in between. Yep.
Really far in between. Even though my boy owns a cabin, and like it just never worked out that I can go to the resort with him when he goes to the cabin.
Sure. Yeah.
On the ski resort. So it just worked out this time, and I was able to go. Boy, here's the thing. I'm coming off of foot surgery not too long ago, so this was gonna be a test for me to be like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna buy the lift ticket. It's gonna be $100 for this damn lift ticket.
Yeah.
And if my toe, my foot ain't if it ain't it, you know, I'm just gonna, hey, it ain't it. I'm gonna quit.
You're just gonna chalk it up to
I'm just
chalk
chalk
it up to
it
the
up.
game.
I
I
tried,
guess.
you know, I'm just see where I'm at. So this is like, and I did it, and it worked out. This was my first like athletic kind of activity. Like outside the gym is lifting, but that's more stability. It's not dynamic, you know what I mean? It's more stationary when you're lifting in the gym kind of thing versus and I'm not doing power cleans or nothing like that. I'm not doing box jumps in the gym, stuff like that. Not with this foot. So this was the real test. I haven't been jogging or nothing like that. This is the first real kind of like athletic stress test.
But why would that be because that's what I wanted to ask. Like, why would that be the first the first joint you get into to really
well,
test it?
It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned that way. It was just like, yo, this trip is coming up. You know,
because I'm like, you know what? Let me go snowboarding test this out. I'm like, where did that thought even?
The thing is, when you go to the cabin, though, like even if you go snowboarding, like it's just a vibe. You just out there, you have your drinks, you're in the middle of the trees and stuff, and there's snow in the mountains and stuff. So if you just want to just go chill and maybe do some writing, you know, or get a book and catch up on a book and just like get up and hang out with folks for a little bit, then go find a spot and go read and or you can go to the spot. So there's more to do than just snowboarding. But specifically when you go around this time of year, you want to go for skiing and snowboarding.
Gotcha.
My buddy, he skis. So he was just like riding along with the skis when I was snowboarding. And so this time, I went for the 2 days I went. The first day, man, I felt so much. This was on a couple of days ago. But there's a difference now. When I talk about falling, I'm talking about wiping out.
Yeah.
So
there's levels to this for sure.
So I'll say that I felt a lot. It was all like you know, falling but it's just like, oh, it's so much energy to get up and
just to get right back
to push up and get up again and then like fall and then like get
especially on a snowboard.
Like I do my gloves and undo my gloves like a bucket. Like, bro, it's so I was exhausted on that first run down. Exhausted. I was like, yo, that's a whole cardio workout that I haven't done in forever. In terms of my lungs was pumping, my calves were burning. Bro, my calves is still burning. Right now from
I bet.
Joint, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't done anything like that in so long. And so and then I went the second time, I wiped out, bro. Just, smash. Oh, this whole shoulder, but I at least felt enough so I could just lay on the shoulder, and I didn't try to catch myself with my hand.
Oh yeah.
Even
So
though I
you
have
don't.
wrist guards, but I just like, oh snap, boom, right.
Yeah,
And
he
I
was able
landed
to
on my
roll. Okay,
shoulder, and
that's
it was
good.
tough. It was tough, and I was like, I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah.
And so he just came by with the skis, like, you okay?
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm good. I'm just
gave you the side eye, like, are you okay?
I'm just gonna lay here. I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And then so I, finally made it down the mountain and went back up again, and then boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And on the 5th try, I was like, oh,
It started coming back.
What it is. I need to do this because I ride goofy, and I forget how to like get into that body feel. You know what I mean? Like when you ride a bike, it's like riding a bike again. It's like getting back on the board. You got to remember that body feel. You know what I mean? That you settled in when you was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's the mind. It's what they call, like, you hear this a lot in sports too. It's the mind and body connection. Like you come off an injury, you get used to like kind of like working that area again and using it. But like once you're in once you're like in full contact, then you have to kind of remember to like, okay, this is how I move and flow. Like when I'm reacting or moving around.
Boom.
Yeah. So you're right. It's that mind and body connection for sure.
So I finally got it like on the 5th run, but that was like we had other stuff to do that day, so that was it. I couldn't do anything. But the thing is, we had a short time on the mountain that day, because I wanted to test it. I was like, I'm not gonna go the next day. I'm just gonna go that first day and see how I feel, and then I'll make a judgment call on whether I should try it the second day. But bro, I felt so good on that 5th run. I was like, yeah, I'm buying my ticket now. So I bought my ticket for the next day.
Good. That's good.
Went down the hill, next day, got up there in the morning and went down that first run. It was kind of choppy. It was kind of like I had to kind of remind myself again that first run. And then your boy was straight. On run number 2 and 3. Run number so I must have went down on that second day at least like 15 to 16 times, like up and down this thing, up and down, like down and stop at the bar, get a drink, catch your breath, you know what I mean, maybe get some snack, a cookie or some of that, go back up down again. It might have been like on the 3rd or 4th one, the 3rd or 4th out of the 15. I started feeling myself.
I already knew. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. He's like, I'm him.
My homeboy was even talking about going on a harder course on the blue. He's like, you got this. He's like, I'm looking at you right now. I'm like, you think? I'm like, I'll think about it. Like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I started feeling myself, and I got a little too comfortable at one point, and I just ate it. I ate shit on this one little side trail. And I was like, yeah, I know what I did there. I know what happened there on that one. But again, I know, like, I need to sit in it for a second. So go away. Go away. Let me give my space, get myself mentally back. But I survived, nothing broken, just soreness, because I did a lot of falling. I didn't do a lot of wiping out. Those wipeouts sucked, but like the falling and getting back up and falling, get back up. But like by the time I was on like that second day, run number 10 through 15, like it was I'm just sliding, doing my thing. So I was recorded and stuff like that.
So you was
okay. I was chilling while I was recording, got my phone out. I was going backwards and just recording everybody else and doing my thing and just like freaking vibing out and that's a foreshadow of the music that I was listening to on the hill, man. It's a whole nother wave that joint had me on. But that's it. That was my challenge to try to get back on the board. I did it, and it came back in one piece at my old ass age. Be trying stuff like this, So hopefully I can maybe one day we could probably do something. You can go snowboard and show me what you got.
I'm still a novice level, but like I was, the last time I did it, I was pretty decent. I picked up on it a little bit better than I did the skiing. The skiing thing, I was still like, bro, I just can't get with it. So
they say skiing is easier to learn at the beginning.
Yeah,
at the beginning it's easier. It's like, which one is easier to start? Skiing or snowboarding? And they say skiing is easier to start. But they say snowboarding is hard to start, but once you get it, it's like you can just do whatever. There's not like it doesn't elevate that much more to the two. But skiing is like it's kind of easy to start. but then there's all kinds of levels you can get to when it comes to like moguls and jumps and all kinds of different terrain and stuff that you could do with skiing that snowboarding ends up just being kind of like rinse and repeat apparently to some people.
Oh, okay.
So, but hey, I'll take that. You know, I mean, for the time.
Yeah,
And I think
agreed.
personally, I think it's easier to own snowboarding equipment than the skis. Those skis and the poles and the gear for all that. It's a lot. That's a big
grip.
investment. It's a grip.
Yeah.
So, but that's it for right now. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll jump into our first story, which is going to tie into all the other ones. And we have a theme this time. So we'll see you on the other side. It looks like the theme for today is going to be, so you know how the saying goes, I think it started in 9/11, was like you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
See something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
The theme that I've been picking up on this week that's going around, and this isn't just started. This has been going around for a while. I'm gonna add to this. See something, say something. I'm gonna add see something, fucking do something. All right. So
Okay.
yes, we want you see something, say something to somebody, to some authority, whatever, but do something. If you are in a position where you can do something, do something. The first story is this little boy shot his teacher in the chest. This headline is already wild enough. So I'm reading from the BBC. 3 warnings before U.S. boy who's 6 shot a teacher.
Yeah.
Right. So this is on the day a 6-year-old pupil shot and wounded his teacher in the U.S. state of Virginia. School leaders were warned 3 times that the boy might have a gun. A lawyer for the teacher said this included a request to search the boy and a report from another child who said that boy had shown him a gun. Okay. The teacher, Abigail Zwinner, who's 25 years old, is recovering after being relayed. You lucky lady. That you lucky, recovering. Got shot in the chest. Okay, after being released,
and I think she got shot. She got shot in the hand too, I believe.
Oh, in the hand too. Like right. Released from hospital last week in a fallout. So remember, see something, say something. See something, fucking do something. All right. In the fallout, the school superintendent has now lost his job. Good, right? But there's several other people that should have lost their job. So here's a little bit of a here's a little bit of a timeline that for this to go down. So around 12:30, a teacher reported she had searched the young boy's backpack, believing he may have a gun. She did not find one, but told an official the boy may have put the gun in his pocket before going out for a break. This little boy out.
So
it was in his pocket. I never thought. His pocket.
This is the funny part about this article, right? Actually, you should probably read the rest of that statement.
Okay, so he put the gun and maybe gun in his pocket before going out for break. The official allegedly responded, "Well, he has little pockets,
bruh."
So you didn't think to check his pocket just because he has little pockets?
Because he has little pockets, so I'm not gonna check.
Yo, have you ever seen a 9 or have you ever seen a freaking like 22? Like,
it's probably the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Like, I'm like, yo. First of all,
pockets.
The problem already is that I think most people in the security field will tell you they take every threat seriously, regardless if it's not credible. They take every threat seriously. So like,
it's not credible, but specifically if it's credible.
Yeah, specifically if it's credible. Yeah,
but you're gonna actually listen to every threat, just like,
every threat. Yeah, like every threat. Like, you're gonna investigate every single threat.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of security, right? And just being safe in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's what stood out to me immediately. Is like, okay, they obviously just think that kids are just not capable of certain things.
It ain't the first time some kid shot a teacher. Like, even
exactly
that young. This is America. So
exactly.
So now at 1300, so this is at 1 o'clock, 30 minutes later, another teacher reported the boy had shown a child the gun and threatened to shoot him if he told.
Right.
So he told.
Yeah.
He saw something. He said something. He still told. Right.
Yeah,
say something. See something. Say something. Great. We said something. A different employee asked to search the boy and his backpack, but was told to wait because the school day was almost over. So he didn't do anything about it.
So he didn't. So he's like, yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens.
At around 2 o'clock, the boy pointed the
Right.
gun at Miss Zwinner and fired in the middle of a lesson. That's what police said. Put a pin in that also. That's what police said.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the running theme as well.
Yep.
Right. Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew has said Ms. Winner saved lives by ushering her students out of the class after being shot through the hand and the chest.
Yes.
Son, how you got 3 people, 3 adults, even more. It sounds like there's more people, like we did like the little diagram of how many adults were involved here that didn't do something about this. I searched his backpack, but not his body. And then he showed some other kid. You're supposed to take that kid. He threatened the other kid. So you got multiple reports now of this kid with a gun. Yep. You can't find it, but something's going on. We need to isolate this child right now. I'm not saying put hands on him. I'm not saying do nothing crazy. Don't arrest the kid. You don't know nothing yet, right? You don't know nothing yet. You don't know. Can't find a gun. Isolate him, right? Put him in the counselor's office or something like that. Have him sitting there. You an adult supervise that kid and search his stuff, right? Yes. Don't search every kid off of one fluke. Somebody says something, they could be having a vendetta on the kid, but you've gotten multiple inquiries
of this specific child,
right? And yet adults also, adults and kids tell you, right? And this kid say, "I saw the gun."
I literally saw it. Yeah.
But it's almost lunchtime. What can you do, right?
Yeah.
Talking about.
I got my break in 5 minutes.
How much in 6 years old? You don't have lockers. Like I had lockers in high school. You don't have lockers when you 6 years old. What grade are you in at 6? Are you what, second grade? Is that
that's first grade. That's first grade. First grade.
Like, son, there's only so many places this gun could be. Right? If there's a gun, right? And so you have to do a thorough search, isolate the kid, and matter of fact, even if he didn't have a gun, you should still pull him to the side and give him some counseling.
Yes.
Call the parents, because you know what? He does. Let's say he doesn't have a gun, but this child is in distress by threatening this, making these kinds of threats.
That's obvious. Yeah, that's obvious.
So how is this kid still in the classroom with everybody else with all these warnings? Because nobody actually wanted to do something.
Yeah.
We all said a bunch of stuff, but nobody actually did something. And she's recovering, they say, but like, how many lives were at risk because nobody did anything?
Yeah.
Even
they said that she ushered out the rest of the kids, which is, it's great that she was able to have enough awareness to do that, even though she was shot twice. But at the same time, like, whenever you hear like, man, something could have been done, like this is a prime example of that. It's like, you gotta take these things.
I just don't
seriously.
see. This is just crazy to me how a 6-year-old outwitted these people.
Yeah,
with his tiny ass pockets.
Right, so I'm not even gonna check his pockets because his pockets are tiny. So
because his pockets, but like they didn't know Shorty had the Santa Claus pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he probably,
it was an endless pocket. You just might have been tiny. It was endless. He could put a gun in there. All right. You saw something, but you ain't do nothing about it. And so somebody
maybe he was wearing a trench coat on the playground or something. I don't know.
What the heck? Is this kid a ninja? He's on some John Wick shit. This shit's hidden somewhere else. He's just like, oh shit, a gun. You know what I mean? Where'd that come from? Yo, we're building up. The next one is this mass shooting that happened in California. Matter of fact, this is 2 that happened in California in a 1-week period. Let me make sure I mute this site because they be doing stupid joint. I hate again, this one's from CNN, and I hate most of the mainstream media, so they always have autoplay stuff. But
absolutely,
this particular one is the man who wrestled a gun from California shooting suspect at Alhambra Dance Hall thought he was going to die. That was it, he said. He thought he was going to die. So CNN starts off. It was late in the evening Saturday when Brandon Say, I want to say how you pronounce it, it's Tsay, when Brandon Say heard the distinct sound of metal in the lobby of Lele Ballroom and Studio, a dance hall in Alhambra, California. He told CNN's Anderson Cooper Monday evening, Say, whose family had owned the business for 3 generations, was working the ticket office when someone entered, and he knew quickly the silent and stoic man was trouble. 10, 9, 8. The man who appeared to be scouting the room then pointed a firearm at him. Say froze, and he saw the armed man, who authorities say had just opened fire at a Lunar New Year celebration at another dance studio in nearby Monterey Park, killing 11 people and injuring 10 others, right?
The heck?
Guess what happened here? Somebody did something. He was at one spot already, shot and killed 10 people, right? Shot and killed 11. He shot 10 people. I think one of them later died in the hospital, injured 10 others. He goes to another studio to go do the same mayhem. Apparently, what he was doing was he was actually allegedly looking for his, man, fuck that nigga, he dead. So, no, that nigga was looking for his ex-wife, because she just happened to not go there, but this is one of the dance studios, this community, dance studio, they do like routines and stuff like that. This is one of the ones that she would go to. And so he was hopping around from spot to spot looking for her. Mind you, these fools have been divorced for over like 10 years.
What?
I don't know what crawled up his ass that day.
Yo.
But he was out there looking, and anybody could get it that was standing between him
That's crazy.
and his freaking ex-wife. But the dude that was taking the ticket fucking did something about it. When he came to my establishment, he attacked the guy.
Yeah.
He attacked the guy. And I don't want to victim blame, but we need, as a society, to realize that we are living amongst some troubled individuals, and at any moment it could be your time. So here's what the strategy is, and it should be going forward. I've heard only a couple of safety instructors, of mass shooting instructors, because we've done some of those drills in the Navy. I've only heard a couple tell me on the sly this one thing. And they usually train you is to, the step one is to exit. If you can exit, get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exit, get out of there.
Absolutely.
Step two
is you're referring to the active shooter training. I know exactly
active shooter training, right?
Yep.
The next one would be to remain in place and hide, right?
Barricade yourself.
Barricade yourself if you can, right?
Yep.
And I think the third one would then be to fight.
Yeah, you got to fight. Yeah.
The third one's
no
to
choice.
Fight.
You got to fight. Yep.
Nah. The first thing, if you're by a door, you can get out, you can skate out of there, grab your people you with, and get out that door. If you're right next to the damn door. Okay. Right? And you're right in the exit to the parking lot. That's still a little risky too, because he could be outside, he could have a partner outside. Who knows? That's still a little risky. Yep. So I'm okay with you're in the mix now. So fine. You gotta try to escape. Step two, bump all that hiding shit. Everybody attack that dude. You see him? Get whatever you have, fists, if you have a chair, if you have your phone, if you have a pencil, fire extinguisher, everybody swarm this motherfucker.
Okay.
Everybody.
This is so. Let me see. I'm
gonna end it by I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna say this. You're gonna die anyways, probably.
Okay. Okay.
Probably.
I was gonna cover that.
But if 10 more people could have died at that second studio, 10 more could have died. Granted, 11 lives were lost. I get that. But we could have had 21 lives lost. I'm sorry. That math is mathing. I'd rather have, that's the choices. 11 people die or 21 people die. Yo, people won't die, you say, anyways? All right, let's just do the 11.
Okay.
That's
so
what
check me out. Yeah, no. So, and I hear what you're saying, right? So like, there's different ways I can address this, but I'm going to say this. Me personally, I don't think the average person is altruistic. That's not the nature of humans, of people, right?
Even for self-preservation.
And that's what I was getting. But see, this is what I'm getting to, right? Because I am getting to self-preservation, right? I think people are more concerned about I think people are more inclined to lean towards self-preservation. No one ain't trying to take that L, bro. Like, no one's not trying to be that unless you bought that life, like unless you like that guy who probably had training or who's been.
Bro, this guy wasn't he was a ticket booth guy.
Right. But nobody's trying to take that L. I'm trying to tell you, the average person in America is not trying to be, oh, are you gonna go? Like, no, I will put money on that. Like, the average person is not gonna take that.
I know. You're right. You're right. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm saying I'm drawing a line in the sand today and letting everybody fucking know this is what we're doing from now on.
For sure.
All because of your own self-preservation. So you don't got to be the bravest. You just got to get in that fool way. Just trip him up. Yep. There was one shooting a couple of years ago, something like that, where the guy he attacked the dude. And the guy was trying to and like because he attacked him, it was a weak ass attack. But because he just like he made the guy fumble.
Yeah. The guy was just
like he couldn't reload or whatever. He stopped and like he wasn't able to like subdue the guy or anything. The next thing you know, other people got to escape,
got involved,
and other people got involved and got the guy down. It's like you're gonna by you doing that, tripping that guy up, you probably would have died. But you know how I guarantee you would have died? If your ass was sniveling in the corner somewhere. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Nigga, I came here for the shooting. What do you mean? Please don't shoot
I came here for the bodies. Yeah.
Came here for bodies. Of course I'm gonna shoot. Like, bro, if you're gonna die anyways, bro, might just like freaking just like try, because also you could maybe you die, but guess what? You just saved your partner's life. You just saved your kid's life. You died, but you know they would have died as well. Right. But you just saved their life because you put your body in line because you try to save. And might as well. Guess what? You might end up saving your own life.
Yeah.
So instead of being 12 people, there was only 11 people.
Yeah. Right. And that logic makes sense. It makes
it's
sense.
Just a math. You're gonna die anyways. Just say this is the day I die. And guess what? You might come out all right. Maybe. But especially if everybody but this is what I need though. I need everybody to attack though. That's the thing. I'm not asking for a lone wolf. I'm not asking for freaking John Wick, an individual to be this brave. No, just everybody.
No, I already see what you're saying.
Kids, dogs, ladies, old lady, old people. If we can let everybody swarm this motherfucker, even if he guess what? As we swarm him, he's gonna pop off and kill 4 or 5 of us. So that's gonna happen. It could be my day. Right. But guess what? We're going to all inevitably just be on him and just clinging on him, even if we ain't got no fighting skills, just all clinging on him and just like getting in his way, getting this person's way. That would prevent some of the additionals. But this will require people. Yes. You see something, you say something, call the police.
People aren't altruistic, man.
But we also need you to, when you see something, fucking do something. Okay, don't just fucking stand by. And so
I agree with that part. You got to do something. Like you got to do something.
Yeah.
But you're tapping into more of like an existential argument there as well, because it's like, how do people respond to these type of situations? I know I've had some training that confirmed to me that the way that I respond to situations, that I react to it. Like when it comes to fight or flight, I fight. Right. I've had training to determine that that's what I would do in that situation. Right. But I know other people who I've literally seen other people who literally froze, which is the worst thing you can do. Right. At least run away. But I've seen people like literally freeze and not do anything. Just like this guy. This guy froze, but he froze when the gunman saw. But he froze for a second. So that could have been he could have got ended right there if like that guy was really about that life like that. Right. But the very next thought was like, he probably was like self-preservation kicked in, and he was like, I gotta go after this guy.
He probably had a crazy adrenaline dump.
And he was just like, I'm just gonna eat it. Whatever comes over, I'm just gonna eat it.
So I guess the bigger message in this, when you use the word existential there, and that's key.
Yeah,
people
because that's what it is
out here, not realizing that any day could be your last.
That's very true.
Any day could be your last, but guess what? Sometimes you could be like, nope, not today.
That's a fact.
Not today. And take your destiny, take your life in your own hands, instead of just like letting that dude make the decision for you on if you live or die today. All right.
But that's asking. Do you think that's asking too much? Well, I don't think personally, because I take certain precautions to.
I think
move
if
a
you
certain
value
way,
your life, if you value your life, you fight for it.
I think that's a fact, because I think to tell people to. I think we've been telling people to be prepared. Just make sure you're prepared, being vigilant, and have situational awareness. I think we've been telling people that forever.
That situational awareness
and
is
it's
key.
just it is because situational awareness could literally change your life. Like,
You ain't got to be paranoid. You ain't got to be walking around the world paranoid, but like
just be vigilant.
Aware.
Just be aware of where you are and be vigilant,
your surroundings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say it again for the record, though. Again, step one is to flee. If you got an exit route,
I ain't got that much confidence in people.
I ain't telling you go run through the mall to go find him, shoot up Macy's, and you at the food court, bro. Get the hell out, okay? But if you dare in the Macy's and you see this dude there, and you over there, you see that guy looking at this dude also, you looking at him like, bro, all of us just attack this dude from all these angles right now, right? I'm not by the door. I can't exit, and this dude is walking right here. Even if you don't win that battle, you're gonna slow this guy down. Even if you get shot and killed, the other person that's also attacking, because we're all attacking together, we can stop some needless loss of life. But we're going to keep with this theme on the other side of the break, showing another example of people that see something and didn't do something. These freaking cops that did this horrendous thing. We'll get on the other side of the break. We're gonna need to give that its own little segment, because it might be a tough one. From ABC News, newly released video shows Memphis police officers battering motorist Tyre Nichols with punches and kicks, and also using pepper spray and a baton, with Nichols howling in pain as he tried to shield the blows. Yet, initially, there's a bunch of different. There's this story is so fucked up. There's so many things.
It's bad. It is bad.
That went wrong here. Starting off with this. Yet, in a statement posted on social media the day after the incident, remember I had a pin earlier. I told you set a pin. Quote unquote. Police said, quote unquote. Here's what police said when they posted on social media the day after the incident. Memphis police used vague language to describe the attack and said nothing to suggest the officers had acted with the callousness and the violence captured by the video clips made public late Friday. It's the latest example in a long string of early police accounts regarding use of force that were later shown to have minimized or ignored violent and sometimes deadly encounters, including the account given by Minneapolis police after George Floyd killing in 2020. In his first comment on the arrest the night of January 7th of Nichols, a 29-year-old FedEx worker by members of the city police's so-called Scorpion unit, the department said vaguely that the officers involved had been routinely relieved of duty during an investigation and an outside agency had been brought in. What is the thing? Here's the statement from the police. Originally, while attempting to take the suspect into custody, another confrontation occurred. However, the suspect was ultimately apprehended, police said on January 8th. Afterward, the suspect complained of having a shortness of breath, at which time an ambulance was called to the scene. The suspect was transported to St. Francis Hospital in critical condition. That's their statement. If you leave it to fucking cops as being your source, that's the statement that you're going to get from cops. News reporters, again, another running theme, the fucking media run with the police said this, and that's the story that they write. This particular story comes out way later, because this story is clearly talking about, police be saying stuff at the beginning. You know this, but you're still going to do this bullshit next time. You can't go by the police account. Take their note. Okay, that's what you said happened? That's what you said happened? Okay, cool. Now go do some freaking homework. Go talk to the witnesses.
Research.
Go,
Yep.
you, the media person, go do your fucking research.
Yeah.
You're gonna run to the freaking printing press with what the police said to you.
Because you want to be first to report it.
First reported got you looking dumb, right? Got the rest of us looking dumb because turns out when the body camera shown, yo, you just said he complained of shortness of breath. Oh, there was a quote unquote altercation. Just like when freaking police shoot people, they say, the officer's gun discharged. Nigga, these just don't got sentience. The officer's gun discharged.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You shot that nigga.
Yeah.
This police officer shot this dude.
Yeah.
Whoever they shot.
You unholstered and you aimed and fired.
Unholstered, you aimed and you shot and killed the person. The gun did it, but this is the way we skate the police away from the responsibility of the actions that they've taken. And in this case, nobody was shot. This was even more cruel and unusual. Was it 5 black cops?
Five guys. Yep.
5 black cops.
Which I'm still trying to figure out how they even got that job.
Over this black man.
Yeah.
And dog, they each had to be like, first of all, they got body armor up under they got a vest on, all that kind of stuff.
They weren't little guys though. Those guys
and those were some big
that video.
Dudes.
Yeah. They were big dudes,
and Nichols was like what, $150, maybe soaking wet.
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 feet, $150. And I don't see his height and weight here, but yo, they went in on dude. Like you had him subdued and everything, plus the pepper spray. One of the cops got pepper sprayed himself because they were so freaking crazy with it.
Yeah, they was wilding. Yeah,
they was wilding with it. Dude's on the ground. Your buddy's holding. Like where do you get this? Yo, there's so much. We don't have enough time.
They don't get
to uncover all the bullshit that's happening in this thing. I'm going to jump to something and hopefully it helps me circle back here. But I'm going to jump to, before I forget. We had the whole movement and right-wingers had us because, it's a bad slogan. So we just freaking, people on the left always just go by the rules set by the fucking right. Right. So when the slogan was defund the police, we knew what we were talking about. We knew the nuance that we talked about. We said defund the police. We want to invest in the communities, want to invest in mental health. We want to invest in midnight basketball and parks and education.
Community policing. That was the focus, community
we want to invest in those. That's
I've
what
I've actually written papers on that. I've written papers on actual like academic papers on community policing.
And so what are some of these solutions?
And this was like 12 years ago.
Okay, but what were some of those solutions that in terms of investing in the police system, the policing system that you might have put in that paper? So
I mean, so a couple of things. I think community policing is absolutely the answer. You policing the environment that you're policing, you look like the residents that live there. Number one. Number two, you actually build relationships with these residents that people actually know you, even by first name basis. Number two. Number three, you create avenues for young folks to actually to be active, not in the streets, obviously, but to be active in community centers. Going to the park, you preach that, you get communities together. You help families connect with one another so that it's more of a taking a village to raise a child kind of situation. So that's one thing that I argue. Another thing that I argue as well is another thing that I argue as well in the paper is part of it was actually funding, having better police training as far as like psychological training, and also tactical training.
Right there. Let me take that right there.
That's part of it too.
The training. Okay. Yeah. This is part of what we're talking about. So the better statement that I came up with, you know, when I made my poster, my protest sign, I don't know if I'll call it a better statement. It's just like, okay, fine, I'll answer your dumb, nuanced right wingers who don't want any form of protest, really, unless you protest this specific kind of way. And when you're doing that, it's no longer a protest. You're just freaking acquiescing to the whim of the oppressor, right? Yeah. And so training, right? One of the things. Absolutely. So what I was saying is, instead of saying divest the police, instead of defund the police, divest the police. Right? I was like, divest the police. So is that better for you? Is that word a little bit better for you, that you can sit better with you? So when you divest the police, you're doing things like investing more in training, community policing, and putting your dollars in the community and kind of stuff like that. You know, Atlanta has this giant facility that they're building.
Oh, Atlanta.
That the local folks are calling Police City. It's like Disneyland for cops. So you would say, hey, Darwin, when you want to divest the police, here's some training for them. Nah, my G. They ain't the type of training. They're building fucking obstacle courses there in Atlanta. They're building ways to fucking take down buildings and take down doors and freaking raid people's homes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Knowing they got the wrong fucking address, right? Sometimes some of these people, that's not the training that we need to give the fucking cops. We need to train them on de-escalation.
Yes.
We need to train them on fucking see something, say something, see something, do something. Because there were several other cops there that did nothing while this person got his life beat out of him. Literally got his life beat out of him. Even if you didn't throw the punch, you are a fucking cop. So all we're doing is teaching cops, when it comes to training, how to be more fucking violent.
Yeah.
We're building an entire cop city in Atlanta to teach them to be more. They wanted an obstacle course for Abrams and shit. Like armored vehicles and stuff like.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
For
there's
Memphis?
also tactical. There's also tactical driving that they're trying to train them as well to do.
For what? So you can go through a high-speed chase with a motorist and put other citizens' lives at risk when you could just let him get away, get his license plate number, and just track him down later.
But you know what? Also another thing is it's also like the active shooter situation where like how as law enforcement, how do you engage an active shooter? So I think that's also part of it as well. But another part of it,
that's bad training. You have to realize that de-escalation could be like, okay, there's this situation happening. Do I need to confront this with the ultimate, punishment, like a death?
Yeah.
Or is there for me to like mitigate the lives here?
So this is what I was getting at by saying that. This goes to the people who advocate for the militarization of police, because what you're getting at, because that's what you're getting at, like the police is becoming even more and more militarized.
There's sometimes equipment that's decommissioned in the military that give for free to police departments.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
so that they can police civilians.
Yes. And you have a lot of guys who, especially like guys who are like veterans who become police officers, and they still have that same training from there, as if like.
Okay, so that brings to another thing.
Yep.
That brings to another thing. You talking about community policing? Do police
departments have any choice though? With the way that crimes are spiking in these particular areas, and with the do they have any do they have much of a choice to like? Yes. I mean, because I agree with you. I agree with you. There should be more training.
Right now has less crime than it did 20 years ago.
That's
less
true.
crime. Crime has been going down steadily, right? Less crime, but there's way more heavy duty police special units. Matter of fact, this was a special unit, freaking Scorpion unit, whatever it was called. We could talk about them in a second. What
police departments have SWAT teams now.
They have SWAT teams and all that stuff, right? They're very heavily militarized, and the military is designed to fight wars, like to meet an opposing threat that's like equal to itself. That's what the military is, and you're giving this to people that are policing civilians. Policing in America was today, January 29th, 2023. It's been before today, but I'm going to put another freaking line in the sand today. Policing in America is fundamentally broken. It is fundamentally, it started off bad.
Yeah.
Slave catching.
Yep.
All right. Yep. And best believe, man, I ain't even get into this other part.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to get into it in a second. But best believe they had black slave catchers as well.
It's very true.
The system was built on rot, and we've tried to freaking paper it over the years. And it's been fundamentally broken. It's even worse now. And here's how it's even worse than we thought.
It's fruit of the poisonous tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scorpion unit. That may not even be an official sanctioned unit, right? It may or may not be. There are gangs in police departments.
Agreed.
You know this.
Agreed. Yep.
They are legit gangs.
I'm
they
aware of
have
that.
matching tattoos.
Yeah.
Like any other gang in the streets. Except these people have.
They got badges.
They got badges, and they got the authority. They got the single authority to use of force.
Yep.
Anytime. On top of that, we say they have the immunity, right? Because they're doing their job, so we give them immunity.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they do, we can't specifically target them in these lawsuits and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's something super egregious.
Yeah, it got to be really egregious. Yeah.
Really egregious. They're not going to get fired. They're not going to get disciplined. They're not going to face jail time unless it's super egregious and it's caught on tape. Okay. So with the system being as fundamentally broken as it is, folks don't realize, because here's some commentary that I've been hearing, is that, oh, these was all black cops. These were all black cops, and they beat the guy. You wanted community policing, and these were all black cops, right? And you could hear the language. They sounded like just a group of just thugs. The way they were talking, like, bro, I'm gonna do this, bro. Gonna do that, bro. I'm gonna fuck you up, homie. Like shit like that. They were saying, and like, nigga, there's no professionalism anywhere, and even your language, this person you're trying to subdue. It's like y'all just a crew. That's it. Y'all just a crew. Y'all just a crew, and y'all's a gang, and y'all using this as an opportunity to beat up on this person.
Yeah.
As a gang member, not as a police officer, just as a gang member. That's what y'all doing. Yes, there's black cops. Yes, we complain when these white cops kill black people. Freddie Gray, right, that died in the van, and they freaking took him for a rough ride in the van. I think 3 of those were black cops as well. But people, you have to realize the system is greater than these individual black people that are holding these badges. They go into the system, that thin blue line, and they become part of that fucking system. The guys that are good guys, that are really trying to change the system, really trying to tell on these bad cops, trying to put them out, they get rooted out.
Yeah.
They lose their
jobs. That's a fact.
Right? Nobody trusts them. Nobody wants to ride along with them. Right? Because the fucking system is corrupt and it's racist. It's built on a mountain of racism that if you at all want to collect a paycheck and put your head at night, you know you're contributing to a fundamentally racist system that is looking to target and kill black people and poor people specifically. So there's poor white people too. Specifically, the police are there for the marginalized. That's what the police are there for, as a long time. But get this through your fucking skulls in 2023. The police system is fundamentally broken.
Yeah, it is.
To the point where black men have more of a
I would argue the criminal justice system in its entirety is.
But for this specific thing,
but
this specific thing, these men had more of a kinship with the fucking blue line than they did with their fucking skin folk.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Yeah, that lets you know how insidious it is.
You know how it's been going for niggas. Like for several, it's been on blast.
Yeah, that's insidious.
So as a black man in that uniform, like, you know what? Thank goodness I'm a brother in this uniform and this badge, because this could have been any other random cop that pulled this guy over and he could have ended up dead. But now you got to worry about the black cop too. I thought we wanted to see ourselves in these, so we could feel more comfortable. They could feel more comfortable with us. But that's not what it is. It's because they're fucking gangs. The LA police department should be disbanded itself. This police department should be, the Minneapolis one should be departed. How many complaints you gonna get for a specific department or specific individuals where it's like, yo, the city, no, we need to disband this whole fucking thing. We need to disband this whole department. And we need to start from scratch. Divest from police. I said this before. So here's how we start from scratch. You start with a system that fundamentally begins. We don't have a fucking 911 for mental health emergencies. I saw a guy. I was on the street. It was a panhandler, and he was distressed. He was knocking on people's windows as they were waiting at the light, and people were like, "No, I ain't got nothing for you." And he was just like, he was yelling at the, and like,
he was really on one.
I'm like, dang, like, and like he looked inebriated as well. It's like, like he's kind of running in and out of traffic. You don't want him to get hurt, and you don't want him to hurt somebody else. Yeah. Somebody has their window down. Who knows? He could throw something inside somebody's, because he was like going off. And I'm like, I was Googling at the light. I'm like, man, is there a number I could get to get this guy some help? Yeah. Like, come collect this dude. I was like, if I call 911, it ain't go. I don't trust that's going to end well for brother. He might just need a good night's sleep. He might need the sober rub. He might need some freaking counseling. He might need a freaking substance abuse facility or something.
I see what you're saying, because there are hotlines for other things like suicide, depression, things like that. There are hotlines for that, but specifically for mental health.
Yeah,
I think that's difficult though, because it's difficult for, I think, the average person to really be able to recognize, like, is this person having some kind of strange mental breakdown, or does he have a mental disability, or is just this guy just inebriated, like you just mentioned? Is he inebriated? Is he intoxicated? So it's like, for people to see that visually, people just don't have the training. Like, the average person don't have the training to really recognize one from the other, to make that distinction, right?
Bro,
so like,
if you have
it's kind of hard to have like a
if you have
specific
some
hotline just for that.
Bro, have the hotline, because they're doing it at the state level.
Okay.
Right? There's different states.
And I guess the specialists on the hotline will be able to make that distinction. Just at least just let them know that it's
you have no, but if we're talking about policing though, we're talking about community safety. So that's why I say the very start of your system. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna have any people out there with guns. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have these people with badges. You know, I'm not saying we're not gonna have any of those. We can have SWAT teams. We can have special units, just like they do in the UK, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? The fundamental start of we don't need to have fucking cops riding up and down 495, pulling people over because they went 5 over the limit, because their license plate is expired. No, you have a fucking just a safety vehicle, a person that matter of fact, the people that do they drive up and down the street with the tow truck thing, and like if there's an emergency on the road, they it's paid for by the state.
Readily available.
They help you. They help you. Have those people ride around. As they're riding around, they see a license plate that's expired, jot it down. Right? You have the camera on your thing. You want me to click a button, boom, it takes a picture of the license plate, and then you send them the fucking ticket in the mail. Or you say, hey, you have 30 days to fix your license plate. You do not need to pull that person over, have an interaction, and all of a sudden, I smell something funny. Can you please step out the car? So wait a minute, this because my what? Because I had a freaking air freshener on my review, or my license expired, or because I went 5 over. Like, no, a cop with a gun who's already on one because of the fucking power dynamics is all that, pulling people over on a daily basis for what? For what? That's what our dollar's going for. Half the time they're just sitting in those fucking cars waiting with their fucking little gun thing, looking for somebody.
Radar gun. Yep. They just
fucking what? That's not what's keeping people safe. We don't need to. Cops, I'm talking to you too. You don't want you want to go home, right? And be fine and have dinner with your family and not have to do the extra paperwork, right? Because of the freaking escalation that happened, right? So y'all need to stop doing that bullshit too, pulling people over for random stupid junk. Like interacting with the public interacting with cops is, as we know, the system is fundamentally broken, can always run the risk of somebody dying. Probably the quote unquote suspect or the citizen probably dying just by having an interaction with this fucking police officer to begin with.
And it's obvious that there are certain groups that are disproportionately targeted. We know that. There's too much evidence that points to that. But I also wanted to say this as well, real quick. It kind of also sounds like you're arguing that it's like policing in America is more so a big brother approach rather than to protect and to serve.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's what it seems like you're
getting
at. Okay. And honestly, I can.
And the police budgets are even more inflated. So why you need the extra traffic stops? Why you gotta have quotas? What's with the quotas? We increase your budget every fucking year. We give you free money every goddamn year. What's with the speed traps? What's with the goddamn speed traps? If somebody's drunk driving and they're freaking swerving, you know what? The person who's just the freaking monitor, the highway monitor, could be like, okay, we actually have somebody that I should not be able to deal with because I'm here for low level shit, and this person is doing something wild and crazy on the road. We need to escalate this. Boom. Then you call the second unit in, and they go do their thing. They freaking try to like get the person off the road, or they pull them over, and then they have an interaction like, yo, this was wild. And then again, starting from a place of de-escalation, you handle that. That's the fucking training I need. You don't need no obstacle course for that. You don't need Cop City for that. You just need to be a freaking human being for that. Right.
So how do you know there's not a concerted effort in providing more de-escalation training? No, I mean, there are police departments that take that very seriously.
It ain't enough.
And I would say I will agree with that. There isn't enough. There isn't enough, but
Bro,
there
I
are
don't
police
need
departments that-
exceptions. I don't need exceptions. I need this to be
True.
standard.
It should be the standard. Yeah,
I
I
need
agree.
this to be the standard.
I agree.
So-
I just don't think it's something that like I think there is starting to be more of an emphasis on that. I don't know why it took this long, but I think there starts to be more of an emphasis on that in particular as far as the escalation. But I do agree with you. Like it should already have been the standard out the gate.
The whole mentality. You mentioned the military earlier.
Yes.
The mentality of police, in general, they might get one lesson in de-escalation, but they get 20 in
use of force,
being in charge. Not necessarily being in charge, but be in charge. You are in control of the entire situation. That's it.
Got you.
So whatever you have to do to be king of the mountain of this interaction, right? That's and that leads to all kinds of Napoleon complexes, all kinds of freaking flashbacks when they were in high school getting dumped in the freaking toilet and all this stuff. Now they have a gun, they think they're big bad bullies and stuff. At least all that kind of stuff, right? They're getting trained to be in charge. And if you need to control the situation no matter what is going on, right? It's going to escalate things, right? The divestment we're talking about, right? Let me jump into some solutions here. One particular solution. So we've been talking about see something, say something. See something, do something. These fucking cops that didn't do anything, right? Here's what we're gonna do. That's gonna make people, because this is what I'm solution oriented, and this is what you do to get these sideline observing cats to get involved. Inevitably, Tyre's family, Tyre Nichols' family, hopefully, these guys all get a fair trial. Hopefully, the justice finds them guilty for what we all see with our own eyes.
Yep.
Right. And they get the book thrown at them. Right. And hopefully get charged as a fucking gang. That's a side note. Inevitably, Tyre's family is going to sue the city and they're going to be awarded some money.
Yep.
Who pays for that? The taxpayers do.
Yes.
How? Because of the tax we pay to the state, right? And some places might have municipal taxes, right? So basically, the taxes that Tyre paid for that year or the year before, or that his parents are paying for the year before, are going to the check that they're going to get back from the city that killed their child. Just like I'm paying myself.
Yeah.
Here's how you specifically target these fucking cops, is that you charge the police pension fund.
Yes.
The fund itself, right? Yep. And that's everybody, not the specific officer that did the crime, that did the violation. Target the whole fund. Because I'm gonna be over here on this side, seeing you over there wilding, and I'd be like, yo, I'm about to retire in 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm about to retire in 5 years. And if you go through with this bullshit and you end up getting the department sued, that money isn't coming from the city. It's going to come from our police pension. So where I could have retired with a nice little cushion at the end of a long, hard career where I was doing everything good by the book. I ain't never laying hands on nobody. I ain't had to. I ain't never had no bad shoot. But my retirement is going to be hit 30% because of your lawsuit, and then your lawsuit, and then your lawsuit. No, y'all got to fucking go.
That's going to make
y'all got to fucking go. Hell no. You're going to be on the scene where freaking Chauvin is on George Floyd's neck.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be on the scene and be like, you could just see your pension dwindling second by the second. Like, no, hell no. Get off of dude. Get off of dude. We got this one. You ain't gotta go this way. I see you fucking act this way. So you will have no more of these fucking standby people, fucking observers. You got a goddamn badge. Secondly, I hope they get charged with also the freaking this RICO perhaps or something like that. Some gang shit. They need to get charged with gross negligence for sure. I don't see this charge enough.
Yeah,
and this is what happens with police immunity. And I don't even throw that's the term for it, but it's something like that. It's I think it's immunity, but there's a specific term I think it is. But they don't get charged with gross negligence. Sometimes these prosecutors will be like, oh, we want to show the public that we're doing it, so they're going to charge him with first-degree murder. I'm like, bro, no, you can't, because you have to get the standard of proof that you need, the case that you need to make for first-degree murder is like that much higher. Yeah. Right? So like, let's say,
there's no way you can,
So let's say you're going for 25 years, right?
Yeah.
You're going for 25 years as a sentencing. And so, but if you're not found guilty, they get 0 years because the bar is as high. So what you do is you're charged with gross negligence. You charge them with a wrongful discharge of a firearm, these kinds of things, right? Which itself might be 5 years. The other one, gross negligence, itself might be 5 years itself. But then there's also like mitigating stuff because you're a police officer, you should know better. So that compounds it. So you get 10 years because you're a cop, right? Because you should know better.
Have the training,
you have the training. So you're held to an even higher standard.
Yes.
So now guess what? You're held to a higher standard, but the charges that we have to prove is a lower bar because it's not first degree we're going for. We're going for this lower bar. We're going for this lower bar and we might get a maximum of 15 years, let's say. 15 years for this person, right? Or you want to do the thing, you get the 25 years, but guess what? You're risking 0.
Yeah.
Right. If you go for the 15, you might get 10 because it's a lower bar. You might get 10, but you're going for the freaking 20 to 25, and you might get 0 of a more difficult trick to pull off was trying to convict a fucking cop. You're not gonna convict the cop like that on first degree murder. So that's what you need to charge us. But the other part is the divesting part of you'll charge the police fund. Charge these cats on the phone and make them pay for it. And trust me, you will have no more bystanding cops watching their partners violate people. They were judge, jury, and executioner for this. So now whatever he got pulled over for, ask yourself this as you listen to this. Fuck all the stuff that happened in between. Getting pulled over for erratic driving. Should a person, again, fuck all the shit in between here, should a person get the death penalty for driving erratic? What court would you ever bring those charges? What court, as a prosecutor, you pull somebody over for let's say drunk driving. Let's say drunk driving. Would you ever go and ask the jury for a death sentence for that person who got caught drunk driving?
Absolutely not. No person. I don't think any person in history who got convicted for drunk driving was convicted for the death.
But that's what happened to Tyre Nichols. His conviction, he got convicted by these cops on the street, and he got convicted for the capital punishment.
Absolutely,
that's what happened. And the last thing I'll say about it is this: a little bit of a conspiracy on my end. But there's way too much evidence for this crap.
Yeah.
Way too much evidence for this crap. Okay. These gangs in the police departments, these are real gangs. They have matching tattoos and shit.
Yeah, it's fraternities. They got fraternities.
Fraternities. I think just like some of these street gangs that might get the teardrops and stuff like that, these cops have markings that they're counting bodies themselves and how much they can get away. I think this could have been an example of jumping someone into a gang. Well, you're not jumping Tyree into a gang, but you're saying you're looking at you're part of, let's say you're part of a veteran already on the squad, right? And you got 2 new dudes, right? Y'all a squad of 6. You got 2 new dudes, right? For these new dudes, you need dirt on them. They need to do some shit so you could really bring them in to the group.
Yeah.
So you gotta be like, yo, bro, you gotta get a body.
Gotta get a body, yeah.
You gotta get a body if you want to be in. And we gotta see it, we gotta witness, we gotta know it. You know what I mean? I don't know if they going as far to the point where they say you got to kill somebody.
That's interesting.
I'm not saying I don't know if they're going that far, but in the fact of you got to do some dirt. You got to do some dirt, and we have to witness it so we can have something on you because you're gonna have stuff on us too. But that's the way we just do it because we know we could trust you, and we could trust you. We don't even got to worry about the chief of police, because we got a whole gang. He ain't gonna know. He ain't on the streets.
Yeah, he ain't on the streets.
He ain't gonna get the chief police. Internal investigation. Nobody talk. No snitching. Best believe police be on that no snitching shit too.
Oh, absolutely.
Best believe they be on that no snitching shit too.
Because the department that every police department, every like foot patrol officer, detective, these guys who are in these units, the one division that they all are afraid of is IA, Internal Affairs.
Yep.
So they don't they don't
Don't
they
talk.
don't snitch. They don't snitch. Like, so they definitely are on that for sure. I was even thinking about you know a good show that actually kind of shows like the inner workings of the police departments and how they kind of operate. You ever seen the show Bosch? I keep telling you about the show
I
Bosch.
saw Bosch a little bit. I saw a couple episodes of. I saw
Yo.
one season probably.
Okay, I was very very invested in the show. Like I saw all every episode of every season, and it shows you it was to the point where like when I finished watching it, it was to the point where because Bosch himself is like a highly decorated detective in the show, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, he himself got so tired of working with police departments and how they operate and how they function and how they essentially work outside of the law to do certain things. Police departments, right?
Hey, by the way, the DA
he got
too.
tired of
y'all
it. The DA.
motherfuckers too.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
DA
absolutely.
Too. Y'all part of that.
Like he himself, a person who's highly decorated, he himself got tired of it, and it made me sit back, and I was just like, this is like these shows obviously have drama and all that stuff, but they get a lot of this information from real live stuff that be going on for real. Like these shows aren't entirely fiction, like because to the point where like it's believable that you're watching it. Obviously, they're getting real data, real information about something that are happening.
Bro, the shit isn't even hidden anymore. They walk around like they walk around like they have a.
It's crazy. They have body cams doing this,
right? And they got body cams. They turn off their body cams all the time.
That's true. Yeah.
They turn off the body cams all the time, and they got body cams. They still doing it. The body cams
they still doing it.
All the body cams is doing is helping us put the fucking pieces together after the fact.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I definitely want to touch on. I don't want to forget this. I know we're going a little bit long.
Yep.
So, Black Lives Matter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter. Tyre Nichols' Black Life Mattered.
Yes, I agree.
In the specific conversation, sometimes some people give a rebuttal, right? They just love waiting for a situation like this to happen. Because this is what they say. They say, look, see, these are black cops. And they killed a black guy. These are black cops, see? It's black people. Maybe you should comply. You know what I mean? Maybe black people are inherently more dangerous or something. Because even these black cops, feared for their lives, and they had to take the situation into their own hand. Like, and unfortunately, the guy died. But hey, see, there's no racism in the system. Again, the fucking shit was built off of racism. Okay, so that's all that. But I'll say this about here's where I can meet you in the middle. I want to meet you in the middle. You skeptic, racist asshole out there. Okay.
Facts.
Here's how I meet you in the middle.
Yeah.
How about you think one step further and think, wait a minute. The white cop killed this dude. And wait, I have examples of white people dying at the hands of cops too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And wait, the black cops killed this black guy. Wait, let me do my math. Hold on. Check the math real quick. Bro, maybe it's the cops. Maybe it's the fucking cops.
Yeah.
Black or white, it's the fucking cops. It doesn't matter. It's the cops. It's the uniform. It's the badge. It's the gun. It's the whole fucking system is fundamentally broken. Meet me in between. You don't want white people dying at the hands of cops either, right? Right? Out there, right? No, you don't?
Sure.
Neither do I. I don't want white people dying at the hands of cops like that. Just extra judicial fucking judge, jury, and executioners. And I don't want black people dying out there like that, randomly for getting pulled over off of something. Where can we agree that the common element here is the fucking cops?
The cops, absolutely.
Divest from the police is what we need to do. We don't need to build another fucking police city. We don't need to build a cop city with freaking helicopter, freaking stunt obstacle courses sponsored by Red Bull and all this shit, and monster trucks jumping in the woods of Atlanta somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Like, no, bro. All right, that ain't the training we need. We need to get human beings behind the badge. We need to get human beings. Stop recruiting for the fucking military. These people are already coming in with PTSD. Stop it, right? We talk about community policing, right? But they're going to be community policing. We need to have a system that doesn't just turn them into the racist enforcers by any skin color. Your skin folk ain't always your kinfolk. These people are way more committed to the color blue than they are to the color black. I believe Black Lives Matter. Okay. And I believe that that statement for the essence of what it was meant to be. And I also can believe that we can change this system if we freaking point at the exact problem and stop skating into society and making a societal problem. It's these fucking cops, bro. And there's this other thing that I want to I want to put the fucking nail in this coffin once and for all. Once and fucking for all. Okay? The goddamn rotten apple spoils the bunch bullshit. You know what that is when the rotten apple spoils the bunch? That means you have a bunch, a whole basket of apples, and there's like two. There's like two in there, and then you leave it in there, the mold spreads, the bacteria spread, whatever the hell that actually spoils apples, right? But bro, your basket is full of rotten apples, and there's a couple good apples in there. That's what policing is. That's what it actually is. We need to stop every time we're like, oh, there's a couple bad apples. Because you know why you're a rotten apple? Oh, you never shot anybody? Okay, yeah. Oh, you never beat anybody on the cell? You never used a sex for? Oh, okay. But how much of that shit did you witness and you didn't fucking say anything? How much of that shit did you witness? You didn't do anything. You're a bad apple fucking too. I'm talking to you, cop standing there, allowing your partner to do this kind of shit. Be complicit. Being complicit, definitely. You are a bad apple. You might not have thought you was because you didn't physically do anything to anybody, but you are a bad apple. So when we talk about a bad apple spoils a bunch, that bunch is really what spoiled, and only a couple good apples are in there.
So are you saying so how would you describe the good apples? Like are these people are just like
the good apples get kicked out? The good apples get kicked out. Okay, the good apples end up going to work for internal affairs. Okay. The good apples are the ones that get that end up getting shipped out of town, and also because they snitched. You know what I mean? Because they turn people in. The good apples freaking actually themselves end up missing. Okay, the good apples retire because they've been fighting uphill. Uphill. They're like, you know what? They don't even retire. They just quit the job. They're like, I've been in for like 3 years, and I'm trying to be a good apple. I'm trying to be a good apple, and it freaking grinds them down out of the system. It's the bunch. The bunch is what's rotten. There's only a few good apples, not a few bad apples. Let's put a nail in that coffin. Stop it with the bullshit. It's fundamentally broken. Throw the whole department away across the fucking country. Start building up from mental health and work your way up from there. And you have a couple special units here and there for particular reasons. Okay. Other than that, no. This the way policing happens in America fundamentally is broken. I'm off that shit. Right.
No, I mean I think those are fair points. I think for me, anytime I hear like the defund the police and obviously the right doing their part as far as like countering that argument and saying like all lives matter, which we all know, like it's not something you have to remind us about. We know that's the case, but you want to use that as a running counter argument to.
And y'all wasn't running around talking about all lives matter in 2012.
Exactly.
Like as soon as Black Lives Matter became a thing, that y'all also want to be like all lives matter. Yeah. Because y'all want to just discount and dismiss the specific message that people are talking about.
Yeah. For me, and I definitely have my issues with BLM the organization, but the message. Yeah. The message is what I agree with. It's like it's obvious. Like the message is obviously a good message. It's like, but then you have certain people who do certain things to kind of spoil that, and it's like it's unfortunate with that whole situation BLM. But the message it's obvious that there's a specific message that's being relayed here, right? That like why would anyone disagree with this unless they have some internal hate or grievance or whatever. So I just think it's and I keep saying this. I think it's like this political game that happens where like just the loss of life it just becomes metrics. It really becomes about like it's about this power. I keep coming back to this. It's like it's about the power. Like I need this advantage over this opposing party. Where it's like lives are just human life has become just casualties of it. It's just casualties of the nature of this political game. Yeah, it's just and that in itself I think is so toxic. So toxic. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about vote. It's like, I mean, we'll have some casualties just to have this position.
Yeah, it's just a rounding error.
Yeah, it's just
just rounding error for them.
yeah, and I think that's so crazy to me.
Bruh, I I did not. I was not ready for this. I was not
Okay.
ready to say this. I never thought I would say something like this. But Lil Yachty just changed the game.
Oh my god.
Little Yachty.
Lil Yachty.
Little Yachty said, okay, it's 2023. I'm finna set this bar. That's putting the rest of y'all on notice. Y'all got 9 months. Y'all got maybe 8, 9 months to catch up because these award seasons gonna come and bro, you better get these albums out because here's where I'm coming with it. I know somebody, I don't know who you are, but you're out there. You're a star, and you had an album you was about to drop next week that you just pulled because you don't want these problems. Because you don't want these problems. You're like, you know what? I need to go back to the studio.
You really selling this.
My bad. Let me start off by saying, I'm gonna use some hyperbole here. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I want to use that word hyperbole. Let me see exactly what does hyperbole mean because I don't want to.
As you're searching that, I do want to make sure that.
Bro, I said I know what I sound like.
I'm like, is this the same guy that? I mean, you got Nas on vinyl, you got Illmatic on vinyl. Is this the same guy talking like this about Lil
hyperbole, exaggerated statements or claims?
All right.
Okay, so I can't use the word hyperbole because this is exaggerated statements of claims not meant to be taken literally. Nigga, I want you to take me literally.
I was like, the first part sounds right though, but okay.
So I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna be saying some wild things.
Fair enough.
For the record, coming up.
Fair enough.
Miles Parks McCullum, Mr. McCullum, born in 1997. I didn't even know they were still making people in the 90s. Bro, I was going off of that. Like, niggas was born in 97?
Yeah, that's,
right?
yeah. Ooh,
okay, so
man.
That boy, Miles.
Yo.
He can't, okay, so.
You know what?
Okay, okay. The album is called Let's Start Here.
Okay.
The album is called Let's Start Here. And so I have a piece of advice for Lil Yachty. That's a perfect album title for what you just did here. And I think you should drop the Lil out of Yachty. You know how we was always waiting out of Yachty. You know how I was waiting the day that Trump became president. Something would happen and he would give a semi-coherent speech and it would be like, okay, today was the day he became president. He's taking this shit seriously. Like, nope, that never happened. We were just waiting for the day COVID came. Oh, he's going to become president now because this is serious. No, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like this album is the day Yachty became an adult. He's a man. He's not no Lil no more. Drop the Lil. This is your chance to start from here. The album is called Let's Start Here. Start from here on out. You are Yachty. Drop the Little. Drop all the other boy because this was fucking art. This was art. This was some grown up. Like I'm in an artistic bag right now, bro.
I have a question. I have a question.
Go for it.
Were you inebriated when you were listening to this album? Were you fully conscious
sober?
Of what you were?
I've listened to it both sober and matter of fact, listen to it sober. You can't finish the album without grabbing a drink. Okay, bro, because you need a sips. You need a sip that be like, am I hearing what the fuck I'm listening to? Yeah. Like this is the evolution of hip hop. This is Lil Yachty. I would have never thought to look out for this. I would have never thought to look out for this album. Because anything that I've ever heard from this, it was bubblegum trap music. It was mumble rap. I think he was like, when you talk about mumble rapping in 2016, 17, he was one of the names that you would bring up. He was silly, you know what I mean? He had a funny little personality and everything like that. But in terms of like, I'm not listening to that crap. It was
Mhm.
okay. You know what? Let me just not. I'm gonna call it crap. It was bad music, but the kids were into it.
Mhm.
Fine, the kids were into it, but bro, none of these albums would ever have gotten like, album of the year or verse of the year or anything like that, right? They
Sure.
was making fun
Yep.
music for Lean and Zannies, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
for that crowd, and kids were
Yeah.
doing their thing.
Mhm.
And so okay, you were at that season, Lil Yachty.
Mhm.
I get it,
Mhm. Mhm.
but you had something in you that none of us knew. You might have known it and you were just playing around with us before.
Mhm. Mhm.
You were just playing around with us, but
Mhm.
now you chose to give us fucking art, bro. This shit is all right.
Sound like he lives some life.
First crazy statement. One of I've said a lot of crazy stuff already, but one of the wildest thing I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
Andre 3000 is not gonna give y'all a new album, okay, people? I know y'all been waiting.
Yeah, I think he off that.
For 3K. 3K is
Yeah.
on a whole nother like
Whole
existence,
nother
level plane
wave.
of
Yeah,
existence.
absolutely.
He's not gonna give y'all. But if Andre 3K came out with an album this weekend, this would have been the album he would have given y'all. This Yachty album. Listen to it and you'll see what I'm saying.
I think that's
if Andre 3K put out an album today, because Andre
that's
3K
a little
was
egregious, bro.
Andre 3K, you know he's gonna be changing the game. He's gonna be introducing new elements. He's gonna bro, this album should win. Second crazy statement. second crazy.
This is getting worse.
This album should win Rock Album of the Year. This hip hop album should win Rock Album of the Year from top to bottom.
What I'm hearing.
From top to bottom. Jeff,
not,
even the interlude, the
this must be a paid
monologue.
advertisement. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on
monologue, here. Even the monologue you gotta play. You gotta let run. And they do this thing that I love. I love when I wish more people would do this with their albums, is that every song bleeds into the next song. There's like elements of this. I love that shit. So
they used to be so they used to be so much. They used to be so common. Like
I don't think it was ever common.
Really?
I feel like not too many people took advantage of it. There's a couple albums I can recall that did a couple songs here and there, and then maybe like track 2, 3, and 4, maybe like that. That Justin Timberlake and Timbo joint, that first one. They did that. They used that a lot in there, you know. And he does it and he mixes it, bro. The music quality, yo, QC. By the way, quality control music.
Quality control, yeah.
Yo, leave this man alone. Give him his space. Let him run with this shit. Let him go. All right, quality control. You know, you got your Migos and Lil Baby and Cats. You know what I mean? And there's a couple of Migos hits that are like, okay, you know, they're bouncy and they're cool. But I'm talking about when we're talking about freaking art. We're talking about art here. This is what this was. This is what this is, right? I had this thing on rinse, bro. I was, my G. Imagine being on the mountain, snowboarding, vibing out, and this shit blasting in my earbuds, and it's just me in this entire universe to myself listening to this album, bro. That's a whole vibe. That's a whole vibe in and of itself, bro. I was zoned. I was zoned the fuck out. Yo, this shit was so good. And mind you, you know, I get a rude awakening when I bust my ass.
Right? Absolutely.
But on those later runs, when I got my rhythm and my swagger back, and I was listening to this joint, I'm just like floating. I'm just floating. Take me away. It's a combination of maybe even it's a combination of Black Keys. What is it? White Keys. What's the name of that band? I think it's Black Keys.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the band.
What's the name of that? I think it's Black Keys. Yeah. So it's a combination of like Black Keys, Gnarls Barkley.
Oh yeah, Gnarls Barkley.
Maybe some Childish Gambino. Yo, it gave me a lot. You know what? He's not the first at this, actually. I'm not trying to say he's the first, but he's brought it to another. If you listen to a lot of Cudi music, Kid Cudi is on a different kind of psychedelic wave rock, adult rock rap wave. I don't even know how to label this joint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to label this joint. This album, he's first came out, was it album or mixtape? 2016, Lil Boat. I can't name one track off that joint. This was crap. I thought it was crap music. It was crap. It was shit music. It was for the kids. It wasn't for me. Let me put it that way. It was for the kids. It wasn't for me. But you are an adult now, Yachty. You are an adult now, and you just put your fucking stamp in the game with this album. We're gonna be talking about it for the rest of the year. Not us specifically on this thing, but the people are gonna be talking about it. And some people may not be ready. The community, because it's still, bro, it's still hip hop. He's still talking about trap shit. He's still talking about he has one bar talking about some grabbing on my woman's titty. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like really like rapping like these regular kind of lyrics and stuff, but like the way they flow it and sing it and implement it, the execution is freaking flawless. I like to do a thing where I go through albums and I'll go through the thumbs up and you know what I mean?
Oh, so you actually like the songs and okay.
Right. And I'll do it individually, right? And then I'll go back and I'll look at the whole list and see how many songs that I liked.
Oh, to determine how you
what I think of how good I think this album was.
Oh, okay.
Turns out I ended up hitting the like on everything. I didn't skip a track.
Oh no, bro.
I didn't skip a track.
Oh no, man. You really selling it though. You really selling it though.
I'm not trying to sell it. I'm not trying to sell it. It may not be for you. It may not be for you. If you're looking for some boom bop, some hardcore, you know what I mean, on the corner type of rap, or if you're looking for poetry, if you're looking for art, that's different. This is different. This is that. This is that. If you want to allow hip hop to grow and evolve and take over in other spaces, I'm telling you, the damn thing should win Rock Album of the Year. It should. There's a couple of good rock albums that I listen to, but bro, this is good. This is good stuff, and it should be put up with any of those. I don't know if hip hop heads are really gonna respect it if they too isolated with their palette, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of Andre 3K and you think Andre 3K would have came out an album right now 2023, I'm telling you, this is what it would sound like. It would sound like this album right here.
Yeah.
All right. So if you was gonna give Andre that grace, do it for Yachty. Okay, I would not have done it for Yachty because I was not a fan.
If 3K dropped the album right now, I would argue it wouldn't even be rap for real. It'd be pop. It'd probably be pop rock.
It'll be something different.
It'd be something different. It'll be alternative. Like it wouldn't even be. I don't think it would even be rap. He'd be like. I think he'd be spitting. Like he'd be rapping on it, but it wouldn't be like a hip hop rap album. I don't think that's what it would be.
I'm gonna say this. Everybody at this, within the sound of my voice, just listen to the first song. That's it. Listen to the first song and see if you fuck with it.
I think that's fair.
Talk to you next time.
If you watch Netflix and all these other all these other platforms, you watch the pilot, right, to see if you like the show or not, right? So
that's how you start a fucking album. That's like saying, hey, stop what you're doing. I'm fucking here. That's how you start an album. That dude got I sat up in my seat. I was like, what the hell am I listening to? Yeah. I'm like, I'm not sure I downloaded the right thing.
There's some guys that I've listened to like Andy Mineo and like Eshawn Burgundy. I kind of fell off on Eshawn Burgundy a little bit because I believe he's a Hebrew Israelite. But he had some dope tracks, some dope albums that I've had in the past. Andy Mineo is from what I understand of him, he's kind of like me as far as like a non-denominational Christian. Yeah. But his albums are always amazing as far as like the composition, art. And I've been listening to his albums for a while now, and I think he does a really good job at like when you were describing like just artistry as far as musically, artistry, just artistry as far as musically, and it's like regardless of your belief system, like you just appreciate the art. Like it's like, yo, this is just dope. Like the composition is just dope, right? And obviously it has good message in it as well. But he's had several albums that had that component where like that the songs bleed into the other songs. It's kind of like, oh, I kind of like how he did that. I kind of So I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. I think it definitely adds to the experience when you're listening to these type of artists.
For sure. And I love listening to it, especially put some headphones on and listen to it. You know what I mean? Where you're
That's
not
the best way
or
to
something like
experience
that,
music for sure.
and just go chill somewhere and listen to it with some headphones.
Absolutely.
Because it's worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth your time. You're gonna to just sit in a room and just put this album on your headphones. Or if you're just in an isolated room, put it on a speaker. Don't do anything else. Turn off your phone. Trust me, it is a you will be edified. You will have hope in mankind. to this album, to know that this beautiful piece of art was inside that dude's head somewhere.
It's impressive.
And it took this time for it to be, to come out. And I'm glad. We have a lot of rap game has become dangerous. We've seen a lot of guys ain't make it, what I mean? A couple years in the game, kind of guys give us their first album, but didn't live to see their sophomore album kind of thing. And, Yachty's just been, he's been low profile kind of dude too. You know what I mean? He's just, he looks like a fun loving guy. So he doesn't look like he's into like a lot of the foolishness as far as I know. I don't really follow him like that, but I don't really see his name come up in some crazy stuff. But you're going to spend some quality. That's going to be a quality time well spent. Just listen to this Yachty album. It's called Let's Start Here. And I say, let's start the history making of Yachty as an artist from here going forward. So that's it. Them's the vibes. We did it. Mission accomplished. Jeff, tell the people where they can find us.
Like you said earlier in the show, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Another Challenge Day. Again, that's the @, Another Challenge Day. So you can definitely, hit us up, check us out, check out our videos, man, and you can watch the
you have to hit the fucking like. I see y'all looking.
Yeah.
I see all the views.
Yeah, y'all big tweaking, bro. Like, y'all seeing the videos. Obviously y'all
with your looking ass.
For real. Like, and what I peep too, a lot of people low key be ninja watching. That's what they do. They be watching in the shadows. Like, we know y'all be watching in the shadows, bro. Like, we see y'all, we see your eyes through the blinds. Like, come on, bro. Like, like, comment, subscribe.
Just hit
for
the
sure.
like button, share it. You know what I mean?
Show us some
Give us
love.
a follow.
Sure. Yeah. And, and we're having conversations that are constructive, fruitful conversations that people should be talking about anyways. You know what I'm saying? So this will traffic the information in the game that we're giving in this, in our podcast. It will help people to be up on the game that we're giving. So like, yeah, look out for us, man. Like, we definitely trying to send a positive message and help people to have a better understanding of the world that they live in. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
You can't just be a bystander. Again, you see something, say something, but also you see something and fucking do something about it, right? Absolutely. If you have the opportunity to do it, and check out that album there, Lil Yachty. But that's it. We got another one in the books. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So see you guys next week.
It's Challenge Day.